Good afternoon, and welcome to the 48th CALLERLAB Convention in Reno, Nevada. Today is Monday, April 24th, 2023, and this is the Marketing's newest tool. I am Justin Russell, and I will serve as the moderator for this session. Our panelists today are Justin Russell and Jack Platties. We ask that you turn off or silence all electronic devices. To assist with future convention planning, we are tracking attendance at all sessions. By a show of hands, please identify if you are a caller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Jack thinks so. Justin makes it.
All right. How many are callers partners? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right. As a reminder, this session is being recorded. Please make sure that you use the microphone if you have any questions or comments. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Platties.
Hello, everybody. Hey, first of all, how about a big hand for the caller partners?
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. There's as many caller partners here as callers here in the room. That's fantastic. I really appreciate that. And I know the callers appreciate it, and it shows that there's a lot of interest in growing our activity. And that's what marketing is all about. So what Justin and I are going to do, we're going to kind of give you a little overview of some of the newest things that's going on with the marketing committee, and then both of us have success stories that we want to share. All right, so we're going to talk about the marketing website today. We're going to talk about promotional videos. And then I've got a group called the Frontier Squares. I presented about them last year, and basically this year I'm going to kind of give you the update of the success we had this year. And then Justin has the same thing with a group out in the Memphis area called the Top Spinners, and he's got some great success stories on that, so we want to share that with you. And then we want to kind of give you a quick overview of some really cool stuff that Ray is doing with Square Dance Tech. We're not going to steal all his thunder because he has a session as well, and I'm sure he'll go more in depth on that. So to start things off, if you go to the CALLERLAB website, this is the page you're going to see, and this will be the opening page. We're going to ask you to go to the committees section right here, and if you arrow down on that committees section, then you're going to be able to find the marketing page. On the marketing page has everything that we're going to be talking about today. But if you remember this picture from last year, all right, this was at one of the dinners last year, and Ray took this picture. Okay, if you notice, Justin is right up front. Okay, but if you look way back, you'll find me. Okay, so Justin's the vice chair, I'm the chair of the committee. So they put me way back in the back of the room. Anyway,
Let's fix that, Jack.
oh, there we go. All right, now Ray couldn't fix it for me. Thank you, sir. All right. Put Justin in the back. Anyhow, so we're talking about the promotional website that we have now. Let's see if this link works. Let's get verification, and we're just going to go straight to the website. This is on the marketing committee page on the CALLERLAB website, and this first blue section is basically the press release that came out a couple months ago about our website and our videos. But if you come down to the website itself, okay, you're going to be able to see the videos. And let's go, actually this is already here now, the marketing website. Thought we had a link on there, I'm sorry. Maybe I have to click on the link somewhere else. Oh, there we go, right there. Okay, so this brings up the website. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at the website, you really should. LiveLivelysquaredance.com. It was kind of birthed several years ago by Mike Hogan, who is in the room with us today, and he worked with a group called Slate Advertising, and they developed the website and all three videos. It was a great project. It's been going on for about 4 years now. We're finally bringing it to a close. And this website is just fantastic. It's got a who, what, where, why, and how. You can click on each one of these links. Every one of the links shows a link to the video, to the videos. It also has down at the bottom kind of a little, sponsored by CALLERLAB and things like that. But what's really cool is every page that you go to, no matter what one of these pages you go to, you're going to find a contact, okay? And this contact is a interactive map. You can see there's a lot of interaction right now, and it's a growing map. It's able to update as we need to. Pam Clasper's in the room, and she did a lot of work on this particular page, so thank you very much, Pam. And basically what this does, can you hold that for me?
What?
Can you hold that for me?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger. There we go. So basically what it does here is, say I want to click on this area. It's going to actually show what's going on in that particular area of Canada. And it's going to give you a contact in the whole 9 yards. This interactive map is editable. We can fix it anytime. We can add more links. We can change the links. We can update the links, because you know how sometimes things change in your local area. So I would suggest you go to this map, see if you're not already on this page. If you're not on this page, you can basically send, hold that again please. Thank you. All right, let's see, you can go back and you can send a email to the CALLERLAB home office, and we will get it updated for you. So this is a great tool, and then you can put this on your advertising information in your area, and it'll work for contacts. It's searchable through search engines and whatnot. If somebody steps up and says square dance, they're going to be able to come to this link, and then they want to be able to go to these particular areas and find out what square dancing is available. Now, we don't have callers on this. We basically have organizations. There's some caller organizations and the dancer organizations. We're hoping those organizations will keep their information updated. So occasionally, please go back and check it out and see that it gets updated. Send a question.
Jack, have you considered that link going to a local website?
Absolutely.
I was just going to repeat the question. Do we want this link to go to a local association website? And the answer is yes. If you pull up Memphis, it'll show the Square Dance Memphis site. And so it doesn't have every club in the Memphis area, but it does tell you the contact, and it'll go to the local website. It also links to a lot of state websites as well. So the Tennessee State is also one of the links in there.
So I just searched Tennessee, and you can see the different links. Here's the Memphis link that he's talking about, and there is the Greater Memphis Square Dance and Round Dance Association. View the website, and you can link it to that. Pretty cool. Pam did a great job on this. Who helped you on that?
Me.
It's just you, okay, yeah.
It's just me.
Yeah.
I did work as a researcher for a living.
Yeah, and you did a great job. It's great. And again, let's say Cookville wants to get their information in there. I don't know if there's really a city called Cookville, is there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so all they have to do is send a note to the home office, and in that somewhere on the page it tells you where you can do that, and we will get it updated. We just recently learned how to do that. We got trained by Slate, so it's a really cool thing. So the website is out there. It's got several different things. The who, and it just kind of talks about what square dancing is all about. Accessibility of square dancing. The videos are on each link, and Justin's going to talk about the videos here in a few minutes. Oh, look there, that's Justin. Boy, you're just all over the place, aren't you? Yeah. And then the what It's just the questions of, what is square dancing, and kind of just, very, very high level overview, low hanging fruit, if whatever you want to call it. Where can we sign up? And again, to find the contact is on every page of this website. If you have questions, find another contact. Several times it shows you that particular link. Why, which is the benefits of square dancing. How, talks about, look at that, where's Mike? Goodness gracious. Okay.
Janice Cha, Glenview Squares, Glenview, Illinois. Jack, this website, which I should have known about before, but I'm just learning about now, do you want individual clubs to add their information there, or would you prefer to be with the organizations, like in Chicago, MCASD?
Well, actually, to keep it as clean as possible, our vision was to have basically organizations. And then when you go to that organization page, they would point you to the individual clubs. But it's not untold that we couldn't do individual clubs, especially if those clubs are sponsoring lesson classes. If it's an individual club that does not sponsor a lesson class, we prefer that not be on there, just to keep it, as clean as we possibly can keep it. But if if Glenview Squares has a class, then I don't see any reason why Glenview Squares can't be pointed on there.
Not every organization is capable of disseminating.
That's correct. So Janice just mentioned that not every organization has the links to all the different clubs and knows what the classes are. So if your club is teaching lesson classes, then I would be open to have a pointer put on this map. Good question. Thank you, Janice.
The other thing that I'll add is that a lot of time went into just the wording. And so a lot of websites that you go to, they'll say, well, there's a plus lesson starting, and then we'll do a DVD after that, and then A2. Well, if you're coming in for the first time, then all of that is Greek. And so a lot of time went into making sure that the wording is nice for non-dancers and beginners. And so that's kind of the focus of this site, whereas a lot of state websites or even a local associations is geared more towards current dancers.
Correct. Any questions? Any other questions on the website before we turn it over to Justin for the videos?
I'm going to toot my horn for Chicago area dancers. Again, this is Janice with Glenview Squares. MCASD, which is listed on your site, Metropolitan Chicago Association of Square Dancers. We last year created a promotion website just for Chicago area clubs offering beginner lessons, and it's essentially doing the same thing as what this site is, but hyper-focused on Chicago. And that site is youcansquaredance.com. That's letter U, cansquaredance.com. And it's very interesting, and I hope people will take a look at it.
All right. So the next thing that we wanted, am I stealing?
No,
Okay,
you're good.
You're good? Okay. The next thing we wanted to talk about are some of the videos that we produced. So Mike Hogan is out of Omaha. We hired Slate Advertising, and they came to the dance in 2018 in Manhattan, Kansas, for the HASDA. So Heart of America. And so there was 300 dancers there. We did some clips, interview style. So when did you start dancing? What do you enjoy about calling? And then we kind of mixed that. And I think it's one of the best edited. The views that are coming in are there people that have not seen these videos? Has everybody in this room seen them? No? Okay. Can we go down and let's see. Are you plugged in for sound?
I am not, but you can.
Here you go. So we made 3 videos. The first one is about 4 minutes long, and it kind of goes over the overview of what is square dancing. Do we still have to wear the costumes? What kind of music do we dance to? And we can play just a little bit of that.
Which one you want?
We'll do that first one. college, dancing 5 nights a week. There's a lot of things that I like about square dancing.
It's a really good interactive skill.
You're moving a lot, you're using muscles that you didn't think you had. Not only do I reach my 10,000 steps that day, but I usually go into 15 or 20,000 steps.
So it's not like pumping at the gym or anything, but it's a good evening of kind of low impact, good balance exercise.
My heart doctor says square dancers are his best patients.
A lot of people don't know this, but there are mental benefits.
Keeps you busy, it keeps you thinking, you have to think while you're dancing. Every call has a certain amount of steps that it should take. Just one step before you finish one, the caller has to give you the next one.
I think the best thing that square dancing offers is the social connection.
To kind of interact with people that have never done it before, and then in an hour see that they've learned 10 calls and they can kind of just move to the music and they're grooving.
It's
there
interesting
you go.
because we have a whole lot of introverts and people who have trouble meeting other people who do really well with square dancing.
We've met people from Japan, from England, from Germany.
Put your phone down and you just get to interact with other people face to face.
I think the biggest misconception is that we're hokey, that it's bluegrassy, it's old time, what your grandma used to do.
Songs are being heard from rock and roll to western to hip hop.
There was a lot of country music, banjo, fiddle, that kind of stuff played back in the day. But we were using stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s, even up to today. Artists like Keith,
They use Maroon 5.
We were dancing to Madonna.
Lady Gaga.
And so we'll go ahead and cut it from here, but you can go in and see, that kind of gives you the idea of it. If you're a non-dancer and you want a little bit more information, then we try to purposely interview different people, different ages, and different experiences, right? I've been calling a little less than Mike Hogan, right? And so to kind of hear different backgrounds, different stories, people that have been dancing a couple years, people that the lady that the heart doctor says square dancers are her best patient. We wanted to show kind of a full range.
It does a good job. And the nice thing about it is it gives a good representation.
Yeah.
Now, the video you just saw was about 5 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? The other two that you're going to talk about?
Yeah, so this other one, we have one that has a male voice. It's 30 seconds long, and then the other one's the female voice, and you can just play one of them.
Yeah, and these two voices are actually actors. We listened to several different voices, and these are the ones we picked through the marketing committee. But
What I
pretty cool.
love about square dancing, it's a great low-impact exercise where I can socialize and make new friends. My muscle memory has improved, and I feel energized after every event. I love the variety of music, from classic rock to pop renditions. I love watching everyone smiling and having a good time. I was a beginner with no experience whatsoever, but the lessons quickly taught me all the steps. Discover the fun of square dancing like I did, and visit livelively.squaredance.com.
So the neat part is, at the very end of that, we can actually tag you into that.
Drinking warm water before bed
That would be
resets
it.
flow.
That would be it. But at the very end, here's the mail.
Square dancing has given me a fun new activity to look forward to.
So the neat part is where you saw at the very end where it said livelively.squaredance.com. We're actually working on a way that your local area can tag your information into that, and then use these 30-second ones on social media and whatnot. If you're like me, I don't mean to steal your thunder, but if you're like me, I start looking at something on YouTube or whatever. If it's 5 minutes long, I might be lucky if I get through 2 minutes of it. Okay, so the other one's kind of cool, but these 30-minute ones are really good or 30-second ones are really good because you can use them on social media, Twitter, whatever you guys do, and Justin's going to talk a little bit about that here in a little bit, but really cool.
So there's a couple things that you can do with these videos. You can share them on social media. They've been shared on Facebook several hundred times. The first one, that long clip, has been viewed over 8,000 times since it came out about a year ago. And you can share it on social media, so you can go to your Facebook page and share these videos. If your club or local association has a Facebook page, you can share it that way. You can also embed these videos on your website. So at squaredancememphis.com, you can embed this video, so as soon as you pull up the site, it's there. It can either automatically play, or whoever's viewing it can click it and start. And we try to give a full story so that dancers kind of know, if I attend a beginner's dance or an open house, this is kind of what the expectation is.
Questions on the website or the videos before we move on? All right, so now both Justin and I are going to share some success stories that we've had with our groups. Last year, Mike and I did the session, and one of the things I did was presented the marketing strategy that one of the clubs I work with on a regular basis in the Southern Ohio area called the Frontier Squares. We've been very, very fortunate over the last several years of growing our club tremendously. Okay, so here's our. I'm going to go through this real quickly because some of you have already seen this before. But here's our marketing strategy. The strategy is get them in the door. All right, you get them in the door, and then in our case, I have to sell them. Okay, so previously we purchased reusable yard signs back in 2015, not 1915.
Okay,
this year we spent another $300 on getting 50 new ones. We initially purchased five or 100 of them. We've lost 50 over the last couple of years, so we bought 50 more. Okay, we spent about $100 this year on advertising, printing out things, expenses, and whatnot. So this year we spent $400. Okay, and that's going to come into play a little bit later. All right, we make calls to former members. You know, it's probably something that a lot of people do, but we go back, about 5 or 6 years to people that we haven't seen in a while, and we make calls to them, because especially since COVID. We do the business cards. We place them in medical offices, laundromats, grocery stores, fitness centers. This is pretty similar to what a lot of clubs already do. All right, we have a free chili supper on the first night, and that's just kind of a one-night party. Okay, and we'll get into a little bit more about that. And then our flyers include tear-offs, local paper ads, and whatnot. So that's what we spend our $100 on. But we also have a website called the FrontierSquaresOhio.com. It's got a fillable form for new prospective dancers. So when folks may be Googling in the Cincinnati area for square dancing, they'll come up to the Frontier Squares website, because it's in all the search engines and whatnot, and we have a fillable thing in there so that folks can ask about dances. We've created 8x11 car window signs, which includes a QR code, all right, to our website. Basically what the club members do is they place them in plastic sleeves, and then they put them in the door behind the driver's side, passenger side door behind the driver, so it's not impairing their vision as they're driving, right?
Important.
That's kind of important. They can also be posted on websites or bulletin boards and whatnot. And a lot of people are using the QR codes. We were talking about this at lunch. Folks his age don't do cash. They just do cards and QR codes and things like that. So that's what we're focusing on, the future of square dancing. All right. We do a friends and family night 2 months prior to the chili supper. Okay, so the friends and family night are just club members. We do it on a club night. We don't have a separate night or an afternoon. We do it on a regular club dance night, and we invite all our friends and families. And I do mostly tips for everybody, and I might maybe do one club member tip just to show off what they can be doing eventually. We actually went out to an organization. It was a local Christian organization, and we went to them and we said, hey, how would you guys like to have a father-daughter square dance or mother-son square dance or something like that? And that's what we did. We did a father-daughter square dance. We had about 15 to 20 squares at that. They just loved the idea of it, and we sponsored it in our hall, and we actually got a few members from doing that. Okay, but our biggest and most effective promotional thing is the yard signs. And I know a lot of people are using the yard signs now, Frontier Square's been using the yard signs for a long time, but there's a way to do this, okay? First of all, the signs are 18 by 24, bright yellow with black lettering, and it simply says, learn to square dance with a phone number. We're not hiding it. We're not saying learn to, country dance or, we're not hiding the fact that it's square dancing. Either people are going to want to do it or they're not going to want to do it. So we're going to put learn to square dance with the phone number. If you've taken any marketing classes in college or whatever, you talk about billboards. 8 words is supposed to be, all should be on a billboard. You go past a billboard, it's got 15 words on it, you can't read all those words, okay? Just keep it simple. Of the 85, we'll talk about our success. Well, we had 85 initial dancers that attended our first 3 weeks. 75% of those people found out about us by these yard signs. The sign strategy, you want to map out a plan of the club's neighboring communities, maybe within 15-mile radius, but you don't even have to go 15 miles. 5 miles might be just enough. You want to identify strategic locations. The best is heavy traffic intersections where drivers stop for a traffic signal or a 4-way stop or something like that. Because most people have their phones with them. I guarantee you most people in the room right now have their phones with them. And if they're stopped at a stoplight or whatever, they might dial up that number right there, talk while they're driving, leave a message or whatever the case may be on the other end where they're calling. You want to start, first of all, here's a really cool gimmick. Wherever realtors put their signs out, they've done a lot of marketing strategies. They've researched where to put those signs. You might want to try to put your signs near them. Now, don't put them right next to them because they actually pay for that location and they have a permit, so you don't want to put them there because somebody will pick them up. Okay, you might want to put them on the opposite corner of the same 4-way stop or whatever. We start placing these things out about 8 weeks before our chili supper, and then when these people call up to get information, we actually give them the information about the chili supper. We say, come dance with us, we're going to feed you, and blah, blah, blah. Cincinnati's very famous for its chili. I don't know if you know that. All right. This year we had 8 groups of 2, okay? And working with groups of 2, they start placing the signs out on Friday, either Friday morning or Friday afternoon, and retrieve them again on Sunday. Because if you leave them there basically Monday through Thursday evening, they're going to get picked up by your local areas, trash people, or whatever the case may be. A lot of times those signs don't stay out very long. Make it fun for your workers. They make a social time out of it. They'll go to breakfast as a group, and then they'll spread out and put other signs out, and maybe catch each other later in the day for a snack or whatever, and then go to the dance that night. Again, we've lost over 50% of our signs, as expected, over the course of advertising since 2015, but it's a very small price to pay considering the results we've come up with. So here's the results of this year alone. We've been doing this particular strategy since like 2015, and we were really rocking and rolling, then COVID came and it kind of slowed us back down. But here's the results of this year. This was our first big year since COVID that we really worked it hard, okay? So we received over 100 phone calls during the advertisement phase, and this is just from the signs alone, okay? The first 3 weeks, we had over 85 different people come into our class night, and you know how it is. The first night you get 50 or 60, and then 25 of those don't come back the next week, but 20 more new ones come and that kind of thing. So we had over 85. All right. Our second phase of advertising was focused on past members who kind of faded away. And this is a perfect time to do that because we lost a lot of folks faded away since COVID. So we actually was very successful doing that. As of week 16, this past week was our 16th week because we always start in January. The reason we do that in January is we found that the January starts are a little bit more effective for our area, because anybody that starts in September, or excuse me, anybody that starts in January doesn't go to Florida. Okay? Yeah, they're already there, they're gonna stay, all right? So we like starting in January. And the other reason is because if you ever thought about that, the traditional start time is September, right? For most areas. But September to December is very busy with high school football, all holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and whatnot. And we've always experienced a lot of dropouts because on those September starts. We have very little dropout on our January starts. So after 16 weeks, we're still dancing 38 brand new dancers, and this was as of last Tuesday. And we have 8 retreads that came back, that we've lost over the last few years. So we're very good. We have a member, if you want to call it angels, attendance of over 40 to 50 each week. And I'll tell you why. Because some of these people enjoy Tuesday nights better than our high activity, high energy Friday night club dances, because it's a nice, easy level. They can come in and dance and have a good time, and that's their dance night. So we're dancing 8 to 10 squares every Tuesday night, which is more than our Friday night club dances. I call from once a month. We might have 8 squares at a club dance. We'll have 10 squares at a Tuesday night class dance. And we call them dances. We don't call them classes. We don't say students. We always say new dancers. It's 2 club nights. That's what it is. And this is the kind of success we're having. And this was our first year that we really worked hard since COVID. We were kind of laying back a little bit right after COVID, as everybody was still a little bit nervous about things like that. So we're really, really happy with our results. Our strategy has been, very, very good, and it works for us. We don't worry about dance level. We go from Tuesday, January 1st to December 31st. We dance every Tuesday night, and it never ends. And then we rinse and repeat the following January. Questions on Frontier Experience, signs, programs, anything like that?
You stated, Joan, this out, Frazier. On Tuesday nights, you're dancing our classes basically the whole year.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we don't stop.
You just don't stop. You just one class. What are you running? 16 weeks, 12 weeks? What are you running per class?
Are you talking about? So we do the traditional old basic mainstream plus. That's what we do. We're not doing the SSD or anything.
Plus.
Yeah, up to plus. And so my basic actually is 16 weeks. We just finished basic this past week, and it was a 16 week, and then we're going to go run about 12 to 15 weeks through mainstream, and then we'll finish the rest of the year going through plus. We're not in a hurry, even though 1 year is still not enough, but that's it. Question, Mike?
Just a comment. We too are doing Tuesday nights. We too do yard signs. We are traditionally a plus club. I've conned them into SSD. We are doing 2 SSD classes a year. I do not have enough SSD dancers that want to learn plus, so maybe a year or 2 down the line, I might start a plus workshops down the line, because it's a plus destination area. But SSD is building in our area. I like the yard signs work great, and we get the same kind of participation with our clubs. So we're anywhere from 8 to 10 squares every Tuesday night, and food is a big deal. We have a back table with tons of food. It's Taco Tuesdays in LA on the Tuesday nights, and people bring tacos, and it's a dance too. I don't call it a class. It's a dance. We do singing calls. We dress up on party nights, and it's become a thing.
I'm with you 100%, and you made a good point. Every Tuesday night is a dance.
Yes.
From the very first night that I start, it's up to me to sell it.
Yep.
The club gets them in the door. It's up to me to sell it. And one of the things I do is singing calls from the very first tip on the very first night,
yes,
and every tip thereafter.
Yes.
And a good point on the signs. I wanted to bring up something that Janice brought up the last time she saw this seminar. Some areas, now in our area, we have one area code, 513. okay? But some areas, maybe like Chicago, Atlanta, LA, you're gonna have 3 or 4 different area codes. You may have to put the area code also on your sign. We don't put the area code on our sign, just to keep it simple. But some areas you may need to put that area code on the sign. But yeah, that was a great point, Mike. And make your class night a dance night for new dancers. And even if the level, the level doesn't matter to my people. They come for the basic, the mainstream, the plus, and then they start coming back for the basic, mainstream, the plus the next year.
Can you plug me in? Or unplug?
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to start talking about Facebook.
Yeah, actually, I'll walk around.
Tom Crisp in Tucson, you talked about yard signs. Where do you get permission to put yard signs? Are they just the square dancers?
We don't give permission, we just do it.
You put them in people's front yards?
Well, that's a good point, Tom. I don't do front yards. We don't recommend front yards because most people are driving by your house. They don't stop and look at the signs. So if you got extra signs, put them in the front yard. It'll be okay. But we found that most people just drive by your house and they don't have time to sit there. The best place to put them is where cars have to stop. The corners where, and if you look around, that's where all the realtors and whatnot put them too, where people have to stop for a stop sign or a light. Now, if you got extra signs, put them in the front yard. If you got extra signs, put them in the front of the church. Things like that. But that was a good question. Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to switch gears just a little bit. And so we talked about yard signs. The next thing I'm going to talk about is actually radio ads. And radio ads have been pretty successful in Billings area. I'm going to play you 2 ads. These are Hunter Keller put these together. And so they're 30-second clips. But I know Minneapolis has also been really successful with radio ads as well. So I'm going to play these 2 clips for you.
Are you wondering what to do on those long Montana nights? Well, stop wondering and get off the couch. Combine exercise and laughter as you learn to square dance to contemporary music. No experience is needed. Just put on your favorite jeans and comfiest shoes and head down to Cedar Hall at the Metro on Tuesday or Thursday nights starting at 6:30. Pick the night that works for you or dance both nights. New dancers can join us January 2nd, 4th, 9th, and 11th. Couples and singles are welcome. For more information, go to squaredancemontana.com.
And so a couple of important things, right? Casual clothes, just come on down, get off the couch, just kind of talking about some of the benefits of it. It gives the website, so as they're listening to it, right, Tuesday, Thursday, where? Well, make sure that you finish with that website so that they know where to go back to. Here's another one, a little different style.
If you knew square dancing was going to be this much fun, you'd quit playing golf years ago. It's true. Join us at Cedar Hall at Metro Park and we'll show you how modern square dancing will change your world. It's fast, it's fun, and it's great exercise. Find us in Cedar Hall at Metro Park on Tuesday or Thursday nights starting at 6:30. Pick the night that works for you or dance both nights. New dancers can join us January 2nd, 4th, 9th, or 11th. For more information, visit us at squaredancemontana.com.
So I like those. Those are really cool.
Yeah.
This is Jack, by the way. Those are really cool. Mike Hogan actually works with iHeartRadio. Do you still work with iHeartRadio? Yeah, you're like a big shot with iHeartRadio. So, and I listen to iHeartRadio a lot because one of our stations in Cincinnati is WLW on iHeart. And could you give us a little quick overview of what something like that might cost? Okay, because those are really cool, except I like playing golf.
Sure. All right, time me because I'll go along.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, I work for this company called iHeartMedia. We own 863 radio stations across North America. And I've been in the marketing industry for 32 years. Most of it radio.
Since you were born.
Since I was born.
No, since I was born, Mike. Since
he was born. So I get the question all the time, well, what does it cost to advertise on the radio? And it absolutely varies completely on the size of the audience that's listening, the popularity of that particular format, and so forth. So I can't give you an exact number, but I will tell you this. The success to using any media, and especially radio, is frequency. You have to, many of you maybe listen to radio on your way to work in the morning. Maybe you have it on in the garage, or maybe you have it on in the evening. I don't know, everybody listens all kinds of different times. So if you want to maximize on a radio station's audience, you need to buy a lot of ads, and you need to run them in a fairly short window of time. The equation that I always tell people, new salespeople as I'm teaching them, is marketing's easy. You just say the right thing to the right people often enough. But who are the right people, and what is the right thing to say, and how often is often enough? So, and I could go, you still got me on timer, because I could
You've got to wrap up.
Gotta wrap.
Come on, Dad.
I want to share a different success story with you. In Oklahoma, this is a Shane Greer story, and I still haven't connected to get all the details. But his local Callers Association was disbanding, and had these. This is a little bit rumorish because I've just heard bits and pieces, but my understanding is they had about $3,500 to $4,000 that they wanted to do something, didn't know what to do with it. They invested that money in 3-week campaigns on radio. I don't know the exact radio stations they bought, but I do know that they bought 8 15-second commercials per day over 3 weeks. Sound like a whole lot of commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. You have, especially when you don't have strong brand, you have to drive the message over and over and over and over again to get people to react to it. So they pretty much shot all their money on a hope and a prayer, and they happened to use broadcast radio. As I understand it at this point, they have 17 squares of brand new dancers.
Wow. Yeah.
So the cost to advertise on the radio or any other kind of medium really has to do with how many people you're reach, and how many times you reach them, which is frequency. I've heard over and over again in all my years, I've tried radio, it doesn't work. Not true. Otherwise, we would go find, in my markets, we'd find another $7 million every year of brand new business because it didn't work for the other $7 million that were invested. It does work. You have to use it with frequency. You have to have the right message. That's really it. Then if you start dialing it into your local communities and you need pricing, my name is Mike Hogan. You can reach me at Mike Hogan.
Thank you, Mike. That was cool.
And what I will say about, it might be hard, next to impossible, right, for my Thursday night club to do radio ads, or for one club. But if you do it as an association, the Memphis Association, the Chicago Association, if you give them more options, or tell them to go to the site because they can dance on Tuesday or dance on Thursday, there's options there. Are you going to talk again, Mike?
Not about radio.
Oh. The other thing that I will say is that we are not trying to get you to go home and order 500 signs and do radio and do Facebook, but hopefully you'll find something that can connect with you or your local association to give you ideas for what other areas have done. Yes, sir, Mike.
So this is, again, Mike Hogan again from Omaha, Nebraska, actually La Vista. Those videos that you guys created,
yeah.
If I want to use that longer video on my website, how much does it cost?
Free.
Oh, it's free.
Free.
It's free. Okay, so the shorter videos, which I know I can use on YouTube, I can put them on my website.
Yep.
I can use them on Facebook or Instagram. I can also use them on cable if I want, or broadcast television, or video OTT, which is streaming television. A lot of you guys watch, right? So those commercials, which can be customized with my local club's website and so forth, all that. What do those cost us?
You thank CALLERLAB and thank the CALLERLAB Marketing Committee. Yeah, free.
Those are free.
Well,
oh, the customized.
Customization may be a small free.
Yes.
$25, right? Okay. So I know I was just talking a whole bunch about radio. Well, the company that I work for does all kinds of things. Radio is one of them. And this is the point here, the other thing that I wanted to ask you guys about is, I know websites are really expensive to build, right? So if I just want to be listed, and because I know we're going to get a lot of traffic to the website that CALLERLAB built,
Yeah.
if I just want to be listed on that, how much does that cost?
It's free. Send us an email.
Free. Okay. So if you haven't figured out the point I'm trying to make,
I was like, Mike, you should know this, Mike.
the point I'm trying to make is that CALLERLAB and the CALLERLAB marketing committee, whether it was me or Jack or Justin or whomever, we recognize that we have got to do external marketing. We need to get marketing in front of people who don't square dance, right? The logo and the slogan that some people, it's pretty well adopted. Not everybody loves them. That's okay. You don't have to use them. But what I'm finding is that what I'm finally seeing that dancers are starting to understand that, oh, I need to put this material out in front of people who don't square dance. And guys, it costs money to do that. It just does. It's the real world. It's the real world of business. So CALLERLAB, and through some of the direction from the Board of Governors and from the marketing committees, we built a website so that you can be listed, so that we can promote and people can find square dancing anywhere. We built videos that are free for you to use. Please take advantage of that stuff and start talking to people that don't square dance. We know society right now is yearning for the opportunity to get out and socialize again. It's a perfect time to capitalize on it. Okay?
So we've talked about yard signs, we've talked about radio. The next thing that we're going to talk about is actually Facebook. And so in this room, how many people have a Facebook? You use Facebook? All right. How many have either a club Facebook page or an association page? So not as many, but definitely more than half. Yeah. So in the Memphis area, we have Square Dance Memphis. It's a Facebook, that's also the website, but we also have a Facebook page, Square Dance Memphis. And then My Thursday Night Club, we also have the Top Spinners Square Dance page. And you can all go and like and follow right now if you want. But this is some of the stuff that we've done. We've done Facebook posts, and we boosted that. And we've also done Facebook events. And so those are kind of two separate things. So you'll see here on the left, so this is a Facebook post. We went into Top Spinner Square Dance page, and we wrote up a post, and it went out. Well, you can boost that by paying a fee. And it comes to how many days it's going to be out there, what the audience is going to be. So we are in the suburbs of Memphis. We're out east of the city. And so you can go into Facebook and you can say, these are the criteria. I want to market to people between the ages of 30 and 55. I want to do it within a 5-mile radius of the club. And so that hits some of the suburbs, some of the municipalities. And this is how long I want to do it. And so on that left-hand side, we don't just say we're having a Square Dance Club, open house. We try to tell a story. And so one of the things that we've done is, do you know a few common New Year's resolutions? One is learn a new hobby. 2, spend more time with friends and family. 3, put down the electronics and get more active. So we're telling a story of, oh yeah, I do want to learn a new hobby. Oh yeah, that does relate to that. And then we kind of go into some of the details. We try to add pictures, a variety of ages. We want them to be able to see themselves. And then on the right-hand side, the other thing that you can do on Facebook is not just a post that then you promote, but you can also do an event. So Top Spinners, if we have a open house dance next week, we can go in and give the details for that specific event. Thursday, March 20th, 2022. We can give it a name. And then you can also kind of tell a little story about it. Mark your calendars. After 2 years of waiting, we finally have a date to announce. Thursday, March 10th, is the upcoming Tennessee Dance Sampler for beginners. It's a fun night for square dancing and line dancing. Invite your friends, casual attire. We call it, our open house, we call it Tennessee Dance Sampler. We do square dancing and we do line dancing. I know in some areas they call it a community dance or party. We tell you exactly, well, it's in the name, right? Top Spinner Square Dance Club. So you know kind of exactly what you're getting. So this is our last one that we did. We started into January. We spent $312 on Facebook ads. And you can see in the cities, we had 65 people from Memphis that clicked on it. Bartlett, which is one of the suburbs, that's where I grew up, 29. And so even kind of going down the list, as it kind of gets a little further out, it's some less clicks, but you can designate a specific area. And I would definitely do that. So you don't want everybody in West Tennessee. You only want the people that are likely to come. The other thing that you can see, and I love these details, is, let's see, 65% of the people that clicked on the ad were women. You can see the age range. There was a couple clicks from outside the United States. So we spent $312. We got 23 beginners. Of the 23 beginners that came out, 18 signed up for the series, and we charged $50 a person for the series. So we brought $900 income, and we spent $312. The other thing that we've done, again, we've kind of stayed on social media using the internet. Some of the good things about that is the person's not having to go out and put the signs in and take the signs out, but there might be some cheaper ways. And if you can get the whole team involved, it's not just one person. Jack, what you got?
I just wanted to point out, I've looked at some of the videos for your clubs and whatnot. One of the things that these guys have done is because they're doing everything social media and whatnot, they're drawing a younger crowd.
Yeah.
I've seen the photos, I've seen the squares, and they got a lot of younger people, and not kids, but people in their 30s and 40s. So it's great.
So the other site that we've used is Meetup. How many people in this room have heard of Meetup, used Meetup? Oh, it's a majority, right? And so we pay an annual fee. I think every 6 months it's about $100 is what we pay. But if you look here, so Square Dance Memphis is the name of our group. We have 620 members in that group. Well, not all 600 people have come out, but every single time that we have a new event, an email is shot out to all 600 of those people. And so we can include those pictures, we can include all the details, all of the information. And so on the right here, you can see our last dance sampler. So that's what we call our open house. You can see all of the details that we put in there. A free Tennessee dance sampler for beginners. Dance is 6:45 to 8. We'll go through the basic steps, no experience necessary. We offer a variety of music, friendly people, a healthy activity. Partners encouraged but not required. We hope you'll come out and give it a try. The open house is a preview for our 12-week beginner series. So we're teaching SSD at my club in Memphis. And then it kind of has our contact information and the website if you want some more information. So the only downside, we still are using Meetup. The only downside is that the people that are on Meetup want to do 20 different things, right? Like they want to do wine tasting on Tuesday, they want to do a book club on Thursday, go square dancing on Friday. And so we have not gotten a lot of people to then take the 12-week series and to then become a member of the club. But what I do like about it, 623 members. Every time we do an open house, it's going to them. And we're hoping that they will come out, that they will bring their friends with them. And so we spend $200 a year, and I do think we're getting at least that much money in it. That's 4 people signing up.
Janice with Columbia Squares. For a question about Meetup, how much hands-on attention does it require to set up the Meetup? Like, for example, those 620 members, are they specifically interested in square dance, or is it just general Memphis activities?
So you can kind of designate, so you can say what kind of categories, so like new to town, singles, empty nesters, you can kind of give it different categories so that if you were to go in and search on Meetup, you might get a different result than Jack or than myself. But the only downside is that they're interested in 100 different things and they're not specifically looking for square dancing. It takes me about 10 minutes to come up with a new ad. And I usually kind of just copy and paste. everybody in Memphis is using this. So no matter what club, we're all using the Square Dance Memphis, and you can have a bunch of pictures. You can leave reviews. I should have put that. So I do think it says we have like 19 or 20 reviews, and the reviews are pretty popular, even if they don't translate and sign up for the new beginner series. All right. So the last thing I'll say on this, and then we'll kind of turn it over to Ray, or we can ask a couple more questions. Thinking outside of the box. So we don't just say new Square Dance class flyer. We're trying to tell a story. So one of the things is we talk about New Year's resolutions. Hey, do you want to be more active? Are you trying to get 10,000 steps? Do you want to meet new people? Do you want to put down electronics? And we try to tell a story that square dancing offers that. The second thing that we do is we start in January, so we can finish in May before the summer. And then we do around my birthday, mid-August, so that we can finish before the holidays. And the August one, we center it around a food drive. So I might not want to come out and learn to square dance. I don't know about that. But we team up with a local nonprofit, and we say, come on out and support this local nonprofit. And so we raise money, and we also have canned goods.
That's why we give them chili.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the square dance thing, but if you give them a reason to come out, then then that's when you, as the caller, have to be the salesman, entertain them, wind in their face. They're actually dancing and having a good time. It's not just a class. And then so the last thing is we try every week to post something on social media. We're staying in front of them. It's not a email blast that just goes out that they read, but it's also engaging, right? So I can say, hey, tonight we celebrated Jack's birthday, and then you'll get people that go in and say, well, happy birthday, Jack, or I didn't know that. We celebrate anniversaries. We are always talking about upcoming food drives, but with social media, it's interacting. People can go in and like and comment and start conversations. On the right-hand side, we've created a series, and I have about 10 of these, but different reasons to dance. So being socially engaged leads to increased happiness, reduced stress, and a stronger immune system. And so we just throw that out there, and people can like, comment, and share. And we always try to include a picture, but it's something bright, it's something colorful, it kind of catches your eye when you're scrolling through. And then we use traditional advertising as well. Newspapers are dying to fill that newspaper up. They're looking for content. And so we just type this up, we just send it in, we include pictures. Sometimes they run it next week, sometimes it's 2 months later. But usually we can get a pretty good size picture, and we can get an article in there. And that's free advertising right there. It just takes somebody the time to actually write it up and send it in. I think that's all that I had on mine.
Any questions on social media? So I wanted to give you guys also a little overview of some of the things that Ray Owens over here sleeping on the wall. Well-deserved sleep too, by the way, Ray. That Ray's doing that is helping the marketing activity, and he's got several things on the Square Dance Tech website. But as you look across the top of it, you can see several different things. But three of them really catch my attention: is the video flyers, artwork, and promotional videos. So I don't know if you've ever seen any of Ray's video flyers. Can I have the plug? Yeah. There we go. Which is a good one, Ray?
All of them.
Video flyers?
Yeah.
Show the other CALLERLAB.
Do you have it here?
Yeah. It's that one.
It's this one. So this is a video flyer. Ray just throws these together. I mean, I'll be talking to him one day, and 10 minutes later, he puts this online. Look at this. vote next year.
So on the screen is kind of giving different information. It's talking about the receptions, talking about the price, when the price goes up.
The same one we looked at this morning? No.
So we got seminars, we have meetings included, interest sessions, the entertainment, and just really good video quality.
So this is advertising next year, but Ray does this a lot for a lot of different things. Let's go ahead and move on to that. He's got several on here. You can browse through these and see all the different videos he has, but they're really, really cool. And I'm just not sure when he sleeps. Maybe now. Okay. So another one that I really think is very cool is the artwork. So if you're making flyers and things like that, he's got a link to all the different artwork that you can go to. Is this a video that explains it?
So it's like,
So what can you do? You can download all this artwork?
You can, yeah. Well, you have another browser window open. That's where you're getting that music from.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So but these are all the different. There are no copyright conditions. You want to talk, Ray?
you're on.
Thank you. These are all generated with. I'm sure you've heard of the.
By the way, this is Ray Owens.
Thank you. Ray Owens. It's a great answer. All the artificial intelligence stuff, the chat GPT and everything. This is an artificial intelligence image generator called Midjourney. It's probably the Cadillac of the artificial intelligence stuff. I basically type in a text prompt along the lines of middle-aged dancers dressed casually dancing. And then it generates these kind of images for me. I can tell it in different styles. It could be a pictogram, give me a watercolor, give me an actual thing. If you actually see people on there, they don't exist, they're not real. There's no copyright issues. The United States Copyright Office just settled a lawsuit actually from a lady who generated an entire comic book using artificially intelligence generated images. The Copyright Office came out and said that it's not human generated. They cannot have copyrights. So if you use any of the artwork that I produced, you can do so completely free, right? I don't ask for attribution. You don't have to tell me that you used it. It'd be nice to hear about it if you did, but you don't have to, okay? You can use them in flyers. If you're familiar with Photoshop kind of software and stuff, you can change the images to some other way, change the colors, change the thing, but use them. They're such a step above the 70s clip art crap that we've been using for decades and everything, and there are literally thousands of these out there. I update it every single month. I throw another 100, 125, 150 images out there, and you can use as much as you like.
Thank you so much.
This is Janice with Glenview Squares. Ray, I have another suggestion for a search parameter. We need to see pictures of Asians dancing, Japanese, for example, Korean, and also people of color. So I have not seen any of those in your collections yet.
Actually, I don't ever tell it things like that. And it's funny sometimes the ones that will come out. I got a lot of people of color this last time, and I threw in some off the wall. I don't remember what search parameter I put on there, and it gave me a lot of Asian people. So I gotta go back and relook at my things and stuff. But Midjourney is a paid program. And what I would encourage is it takes no training whatsoever to do this. None. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it, all right? It's $10 a month. And you can generate up to about 250 images, and for that $10 a month, Go out there and try it yourself. Plug it in. You will be amazed at the stuff that you get.
Thank you. How about click on one more link? It's some promotional videos, and because we're getting close to time, but these are customizable and similar to maybe the videos that we put together with Slate advertising. But there's all kinds of different things. Is this a good one, Ray?
Well, they're all good, Jack. 'Cause I
What is this one promoting? Just pictures?
a lot of people.
But he's got a bunch of them on here. You can go in here and search and have fun. And you can take these and put them on social media and the whole 9 yards.
You do anything you like with them. Sorry.
No problem.
Again, like CALLERLAB is doing with the videos that they created with Slate Media. I'm sorry.
That's yours.
It's my camera. CALLERLAB's, they got to charge, to customize it. I don't. All right, I'll customize these for free. When it gets to that video, at the end of it, you'll see a little thing. It'll come up and say, "Drop me a line. I'll customize this for your group or organization." Yeah, right there. Jack, if you scroll all the way to the bottom. Yeah, I'll just go all the way down. There's a form at the bottom that you can fill out right here. You tell me, hey, which videos you want. What information do you want to show on the screen? We had a group up in St. Mary's, Ohio, that took a computer to their local mall, and somehow they secured the thing, but all they did was run videos 24/7 in the mall, and people would stop by. They got tons of people that just watched the videos long enough to get an interest in it and everything. They didn't need to man the booth or anything else either. Mall probably charged them some nominal fee for doing this. If you would scroll back up a little bit, Jack. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Stop, come back down to this video and play this one from the start. This is the most popular one that I've done so far. The video that you see here came from the Tennessee State Convention. For the most part, I video everything like I'm doing here. Jack has an annual event, Rocket Dance Fest. The images at the end of this came from the Rocket Dance Fest thing. We just put them all together. And more people like this video for some reason than any others. But there's a baker's dozen of these out there. If you like one, you want to put it on your Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, all you got to do is drop me a line, and then I'll customize it for your organization.
Thank you, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
How about a nice hand for Ray? He's really doing a lot of work. If Ray was around when we started the Slate, it might have been a different story, who knows? But he's around now, and he's a great resource. I'm very, very lucky to have him in my area. And he's also my webmaster, so if you want to talk to him about websites and promotional things like that, you're welcome to do that. So we're running right on time.
Yeah,
we got 1 minute. So if there's any questions or anything, final comments?
All right. Maybe got time for one question, but come and talk to Jack and I, because we love having these conversations, and see Ray as well.
I noticed we talked social, Glenn Ray out from Olympia, Washington. We talked social media, you didn't talk about Nextdoor. Are you familiar with Nextdoor?
I've used it. I didn't have as much success as I have with
I think the key for Nextdoor is you can't just do one post. You go to your dancers who live in all different areas and give them a post as well. So you're not posting one, you're posting 20 neighborhoods or 30 neighborhoods or whatever.
And you know what? That's a great segue. That's a great segue. Now, we've only given up some information. We gave some of the most recent marketing things that we've been dealing with, but that's a great segue to let you know that the marketing committee is always looking for more people with new ideas maybe join the marketing committee. We have a meeting tomorrow. So if, we're always looking for new blood and new ideas.
Next door, there was a question. Next door is a website. You can go in and you can create a username and password. You got to give it your address, but then you get to see things that are happening right in your neighborhood. So if there's square dancing that's starting, if somebody needs a plumber, who would you recommend? If there's a lost dog, all of those are reasons that you can use. You can post on the site.
Yeah, this is Mike Wright from Concord, California. What I wanted to find out is, can I get a copy of your PowerPoint?
Actually, it's on the, what do they call it?
The portal.
The portal for the convention portal. There's a PDF PowerPoint. It's not PowerPoint, it's PDF. If you want the PowerPoint version, give me your email and I'll send it to you. Because I don't believe that's going on the portal. I think just the PDF, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
How about a hand for our panelists? Jack Cloudy. The marketing meeting is tomorrow, so if you have ideas or suggestions, we are always looking for new ideas, and we would ask that you please come and share those with us. And then if you have any questions for Ray or Jack, please see them.
And Mike Hogan. We want to thank Mike Hogan as well for his participation. Thank you all for being here. You show that you care.
Good job.
Great job.